Well, welcome back to part two of finding your koshi and sanshin. So, as we went over last time, we're going to be working again on finding the lower back throughout the entire kata of sanshin. So, following the bow, which I want to emphasize should be done with as good a posture as you can possibly get. Come in to sanshin. I'm going to feel my fingers rotating forward. Now I'm opening my fingers for demonstration purposes. Ordinarily you'd want to keep your hands closed, your fingers closed, and you want to feel energy in the palm of your hand so that your hands are slightly cupped as you make this grab. As you come up, again you thrust from the hips. I'm having to adjust because of my supination. I'm adjusting my stance and pulling in from the floor. As I come up, I'm squeezing the armpits. Now I want to feel, as I talked about last time, this sense of spiraling from my hands out, and a sense of spiraling from my elbows down. At the same time, I want to feel this sense of energy here in front of me, and as though my elbows are connected to this ball of energy in front. Now as I do that, I don't want to collapse my shoulders in. I'm not trying to hump. As soon as my back arches like that, I lose connection with my lower back. So if you can do that, and again, I've seen many Okinawan masters do that, and you can keep connection with your lower back, great, but I can't. So for me, I have to keep as my yoga instructor would say, I have to keep my collarbones wide. I have to feel this connection, this energy going here on this ball, extending out my collarbones wide and sinking into my lower back. And now I begin stepping and thrusting. So let's talk about the step first, and then the thrust. As we step in sanshin, we're turning the front foot and then coming through center. So the center is your center line that you want to come through. But that's just kind of a basic way of doing it. Again, as you're at home, if you want to practice during this quarantine time, what you might work on is this. As your foot pivots, you're actually beginning to rotate this hip forward. So that as you begin to step through, this is all one motion. You're not taking two separate steps. It's not 1, 2. It's 1, 1, 1. The other thing you want to watch for as you're doing your sanshin step is what's going on with the rear foot, the foot that's coming through. As we do sanshin, we're trying to keep our pelvic girdle closed and firm for the most part. So I'm expanding it slightly, but I'm trying to avoid having my pelvic girdle wide open. If I step in sanshin by letting my heel precede my toes, it automatically opens my pelvic girdle. It also throws my weight off slightly. So again, as we're doing this step, it's really critical that as you pivot and come through, the motion is hip, knee, foot, but the toe has got to precede the heel. The toe has got to precede the heel. And you want to feel that focusing on the toe coming in front of the heel. You want to avoid any kind of movement as you make your sanshin step, any movement of going with the heel coming in at all and then making the step. So, now to the step and the thrust. From sanshin position, as I begin my thrust, I start with feeling the floor and what's going on with my feet, and now what's going on with my back. And as I draw the thrust back, it's not my motion is not starting with my arm. My motion is starting with my hip. I'm rotating my hip slightly back, opening the pelvic girdle. My front hip is staying forward, again with this sense of spiraling out the front arm. As I pull back, I'm going to squeeze my armpit and feel energy coming out my little finger. And also again this cupping in my palms. As I thrust, I'm going to let the pelvic girdle come forward again, but I'm not trying to pivot. In fact, I want to avoid a rotation. I want this hip, the passive hand hip, to stay forward as I make these steps, as I make these thrusts. So Again, as you're doing the steps, feel this pulling, thrusting, and again, it's a hip, knee, foot action. Everything is hip, knee, foot. I'm moving center, hip, knee, foot, so I'm feeling this connection. My hands are coming back, but it's from the hip and out, from the hip and out, with a sense of cupping and squeezing. And if you're having trouble squeezing, focus again on the little finger. Feel that little finger squeezing into your palm, into your hands. Also, as you're back here, again, feel that squeeze. The armpit, the little finger, let it thrust out. Make sure the thumb doesn't drop like I just did, and hold the thumb in. Feel the energy of the thumb whipping over to get some rotation. Lastly, be really cautious about what's going on with your arms. Some of you are super flexible. You can bend your arm that way, past vertical. You don't even want to take your arm vertical. What you want to do, you want to take your thrust to where your natural bend is. So how to find your natural bend? Let your hands just hang to the side, bring them up. That's your natural bend. So as you're doing your Sanshin thrust, look for that natural bend. That's your point of focus. Also, as you do your Sanshin thrust, keep that elbow in. If you do that, again, if you've got this sense of squeezing, what happens is right about here, as your hand leaves as the elbow comes past your body, your elbow drops in and connects with your hip, and then you can finish the thrust. And you've got this nice hip connection. In addition to the pull from the front, you want to feel the rear foot extending into the earth. Now, some people talk about pushing. I don't talk about pushing my foot into the earth. I talk about extending it into the earth. Pushing is like doing a push-up. Extending is like reaching for a can on a shelf. There's a difference. And you want to feel this reaching into the earth with your rear foot on your thrust. That's it for today.